Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you What If Naruto Was Neglected with Jashin sealed inside of him, Part 33. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode on this channel of What If Naruto Had the Deadliest Bloodline, and enjoy that guys. And I also posted a brand new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto's appointed 6th Kage after Nagato was defeated. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last part that we left off, as Naruto found himself in the hidden ring, Hidan could feel that something was wrong, but yet he go ahead, as he could tell the feeling, the sense of death and despair in the air. Nagato had to push almost all of his power into a blast when a hand dropped from the sky. A demonic hand that would have wiped out his village, but he blew it away. Chaos then happened after that, as Naruto sprang down, the rest of the Akatsuki members arriving. As they took on Naruto, well, he took on them. The battle was chaotic. Collapse, destruction all over the hidden ring as Naruto went crazy, working off the bloodlust that he currently had. He demolished them one by one, none of them stood a chance. As he wiped them out, slaughtering them, he ripped Hidan apart. He tear Kakazu, he tear Kisame, he ripped Sasori and Deidara. They didn't stand a chance against him. It was like Naruto was death itself as he attacked them with such fury. He shook the entire village as he faced off against Tendo and his pets. The battle was chaotic as Konan was knocked away. She tried to save the people, but she could not. As the village was turned upside down, Nagato had to push it as he created a giant Shibuya no Tensei and trapped Naruto inside, but Naruto obliterated as he dropped like a bomb. He turned the hidden ring into literal hell as Nagato told Konan to run. But it was too late as the explosion threw her. She smashed head first into one of the giant rocks as she fell unconscious. As Naruto burned everything, he destroyed the paths. He demolished everything around him. He ripped apart the village as he stood there like death itself. Zetsu arrived and asked him what the hell did he do. But Naruto said that he did not need the Rinnegan to bring back Kaguya. With that, he made his way off. After that, a moment later, the masked man appeared, only to witness chaos and destruction, as he had no idea what was going on. Meanwhile that was happening, there was a meeting taking place at Land of Iron with the Kages. The Tishikage was not there, as he did not send anything, any message toward the summon. He was not there. They thought that he just didn't care. Mei and the others were there until Gaara appeared. They tried to attack her, but her sand forced them back, the black sand that seemed like acid, as it ripped through the table. She told him just a matter of time as Naruto arrived. He arrived as he raised his bloodlust, the feeling of death. Jashin didn't hesitate to arrive there in a boom as she shattered the building top when she arrived. She finally found him and now she was gonna kill him. She wouldn't let him escape until Naruto brought out what he was actually here to do. As Menma tried to attack him, as Naruto demolished Menma within seconds, he didn't have time for him. Jashin was frozen when she heard Naruto call a name, Lucifer Morningstar. Her brother. She could not allow him to do that as Yami was shocked as Naruto opened a strange window. It seemed like a door towards the gates of hell, but it was locked. As Naruto provided the gate with all of the souls of the hidden stone that he had taken, well, Gaara had taken. But the gate still did not crumble down, and Lucifer was still trapped away. As Naruto was confused, why was this not breaking away? As Lucifer told him that there was still one thing left, his death. Naruto felt something pierce him as he looked down to see a blade through his chest. Behind him, the one that stabbed him was Gaara. Jashin was shocked, shaken to the core. Everyone was shocked by this turn of event. They never expect this at all. So yeah guys, so it's basically let's play the topic guys and switch across the play check for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. In the beginning, there was nothingness. The universe was not there, there was nothing, just darkness. Until a light appeared. A light of a being that was beyond everything. People came to know him, well not people exactly. They came to know him as the creator. A being that far past time, space, everything. He was a being above everything. A being of creation, destruction. The creator. The creator built the universe. He built everything. He then created children. Spawns of himself. That had their own free will and mind. A bit of his power. One of these person was Lucifer Morningstar. The other one was Jashin. The other one was Yami. Brothers and sisters. He created a lot of them. To run the universe. To inspire life. Over the ages, life started to emerge. Humans. Different planets start to adapt. And the balance was there. These siblings split apart. Some of them took on the job and called themselves Celestials, as they took the job of being the ones up above, watching over those who deserve the pure world. Ones like Yami decided to take up the role of being the one that carries away the souls. Jashin. She was rather lazy like her brother Lucifer. More say they just didn't want to do that much. They did small things here and there, helping their family, but nothing too great. Until chaos went on. As Lucifer and Jashin didn't like how things were going. How their brothers and sisters that call themselves Celestials separated from them and they were acting like they were better than them. That caused them to war. The creator was saddened by this. He created all of this for them. He gave them life, and yet they decimated populations, planets with their battles. He left. He just left one day, never to be seen or heard of ever again. They could not find him no matter what they tried, he just vanished. Erased himself completely. They stopped their warring. They felt like if they stopped, their father would come back. And they promised, they made a deal that they would never try to invade on any human civilization ever again. But when time passed, Lucifer broke that deal. The others turned against him. He was angry at their father for just leaving like that, and his brothers and sisters turned against him. He went crazy. Eventually though, they overpowered him. It was a lot of them, but he slaughtered some of them. And when he killed them, they could not return. They were snuffed out of reality. So they trapped him away in the deepest, darkest place where the souls of the damned, the souls of the most chaotic and corrupted went from all over the universe. All of those souls went down there for eternal punishment, never to be seen again, a dimension that none of them, not even the Shingami or Jashin, none of them could open. And thus years passed. Millennia, time and time passed once again. Civilization died out and it regrew. Died out and regrew. That is how time went. And everything would have remained that way if it wasn't for Jashin betraying one boy that had now shattered the bridge between this world and the dimension where the most hated of their family members were. Lucifer, who had slaughtered many of them before he fell. At this very moment, Jashin was perplexed as she looked at Naruto, who was currently on his knees. The blade that was currently in his chest was not a normal blade. That's Azrael blade. Yes, my darling sister, said Lucifer, as Naruto looked down towards his chest. Gaara then stepped in front of him. Why, he said, as blood came from his mouth. It's quite simple, Lucifer said, instead of Gaara, as the wall in front of him cracked. Yami eyes widened as Jashin stood there frozen in fear The others didn't know what the hell was going on, as it kept on cracking until Lucifer pulled his fist back and smashed into it, his hand breaking through the boundary. His feet came out first as he stepped on this plane of existence after so long. The whole world itself shook in fear as a bloodlust that was unlike anything anyone ever felt before washed over the planet. The sky, the earth, the ocean, the wind, the air, everything went into high gear. The world itself was like it was ending, and that was just a mere glance of his power. It's been so long since I've been locked away. Finally entering back this realm. Brother, sister, he says he looked towards Yami and Jashin. It's been a long time, hasn't it? As Jashin couldn't say anything, she was afraid. She was scared as she looked at her brother, the man that they all trapped away. And now he was back, she knew that he would make all of them suffer. Unlike everyone else, he was full of wrath, hatred, and not to mention his revenge. His anger was boundless. For the first time in millennia, she was afraid. She was scared. As Naruto looked up towards Lucifer with an angry look, "Don't look at me like that. Your powers are fading. After all, it was the final step that was necessary for me to break through the boundary. Your darling here knew that you were never strong enough to beat me. So she told me about your plan, begging for a way for her to keep her son alive." "Son," said Minato. Lucifer didn't pay him any mind. "So I made a deal with her. In the end, your life, for your boy." "I'm sorry," said Gaara. "You couldn't win. You're not strong enough," she said to Naruto. "Of course he's not," said Lucifer. As Naruto's hand started to fade, he snapped his head to the sky as he screamed, as his body exploded into dust. "Where's my son?" said Gaara as she turned towards Lucifer. "Sister, you should really tell them about me after all. You know I don't break a deal." Jashin still didn't say anything as she was too afraid to speak. Last time, it took them and several others to defeat him. He will be here shortly. As Gaara stepped away, Jashin was really shocked that she would betray Naruto like that. Well, who was she to say anything? She betrayed him as well. But for her son, she never knew that they had a child together. As Lucifer stood there looking around the room, I see that things have changed. As he looked towards me, the human species has also gotten more alluring. "What the hell is going on?" Ace said. "Who are you people?" As Jashin turned towards him, before she could say anything, the man dropped to his knees. A pressure like nothing he has never felt before, as he felt like his body was being crushed into the ground. "Watch your tongue, human." Jashin regained her bearings. "So what now?" A collapsed the ground as the man finished with him. "What now?" "I killed you all," said Lucifer. "I thought it was obvious." "It won't be that easy," she said as she clenched her fists. Sister, sister, sister. Brother, why are you being so quiet? The last time it took you and several others to defeat me. Do you really think you two alone can do it? And by the way, the others won't be coming. Jashin narrowed her eyes. What do you mean by that? Well, I was able to project my consciousness through Naruto and use him as a vessel for the first part of our plan. I then made my way to the world, the pure world with his body. Him being, well, technically human when you turn him into a monster. Us, we are different, but he can pass through the worlds. So I use him, and I slaughtered every single one of them. I wiped them out of existence. They were shocked to hear that. You killed them all? Said Jashin. Every last one of them. None of them will be coming. You monster. How could you? How could I? After being sealed away for so long, you asked me how could I? If you people would have stuck with me, none of this would have happened. We all got abandoned by our own father, and yet you still believe that there was some hope and chance of him coming back. All of you are just beyond stupid. No more than that, idiotic, cosmic fools who waste years searching for that man who threw us away like pawns once he was done, once he realized what he created was a ruined faction. Do you know that, human? There is no savior here. This world is corrupted because you people are corrupted. And most of you end up going to the depths of darkness once you die. But the most wicked, the cruel, the chaotic, they get pulled to my domain. So that is where Naruto was this entire time, said Jashin. Yes. I was able to pull him to my domain. He was just there, floating in endlessness. I guide him, whispers here and there. And from there he trained, him and his lovely wife over there, said Lucifer as he looked towards Gaara, who didn't pay him any mind, as she just kept on looking at the others, Temari and Kankuro. For you it might have been a year or so, but for him, for us, the time is something that you normal human cannot fathom. So, think about that, and think about how long I was trapped away in that endlessness, that darkness, where I created, used the souls that were given to me, to create armies upon armies of demons, things that will now come in this world, and tear it down to the last atom, shred this universe, where I will rebuild it in my own image, and create it over. Screw the creator. I will take his place. I will be the number one, the strongest, and you all will fall. As he stepped forward, a hand shoved right through his back. Lucifer froze in shock as a hand ripped through his chest. Oh, that's where you're mistaken, a voice said. You won't be the one to take over. That will be me. Lucifer was shaken to his core. Jashin was confused. How? How are you alive? That blade. As Gaara looked at the blade in her hand, she was smirking. Is it done? She asked. She looked towards Naruto. It went perfectly, said Naruto. As Lucifer coughed black blood. What is this? How are you alive? You're supposed to be dead. Oh, do you really think that you could taint my precious Gaara into betraying me? She's not like some bitch, said Naruto as he looked towards Jashin. She wouldn't do something like that. As Gaara simply smiled. Did you really think that it would go all in your favor? You know, for someone that is known to be the ruler, most powerful, deadliest demon, Lightbringer, you're surely naive, Gaara said. How? I was watching you the entire time. Well, you were. But you see, we have this friend in our domain that you never look in on, and we use her as a form of communication. So I informed Naruto about everything. We've been planning for you this entire time. While you were watching, thinking that we were planning to kill you, and that I was still on your side. That was merely for a show. The real plan was going on in our heads, somewhere that you could not reach. Lucifer stood there as black markings started to spread over his body. But how is this possible, said Jashin, the blade that can wipe out any celestial beings? Anyone of my kind, how are you still alive? As Naruto looked around towards her. Well, I suppose that makes me above you. That's not possible, said Lucifer. You are nothing. You are just a pathetic host that I use and discard. How is this possible? He said as he was getting angry. Well, it's quite simple, you see. You have control over your domain. With your thousands of souls, millions, billions, trillions. But you two forgot about somewhere else. Somewhere where the most purest souls reside. Impossible, said Yami. What is it? Said Jashin. You used me as a vessel to go to the pure world, to kill your own brothers and sisters. You opened the gate. You carved right through it like it was butter, while you were using me to slaughter your family. My mind was still conscious. That is when I marked that place. And while You were settling in back to your home. I went back there. You can't imagine what was there. The souls of all those that perished, that were living their life of nothing but peace and harmony. So I burned everything. I tore it asunder. I ripped open all of their dreams. I showed them the heinous of their nightmare. I brought them nothing but chaos and despair. Do you know what happened when you turn a good soul into one that is tainted? It becomes more powerful, said Yami. Right you are. And I absorbed them all. Lucifer was shocked. That's not possible. No, it can't be. I have to thank you, my dear, said Naruto as he looked towards Jashin. You gave me the ability after all. While you were tampering with my mind, festering my body and linking yourself with me, it seems like you accidentally left a piece of yourself in me to absorb souls. Well, it happened from when I was much younger. But you opened the gate even wider, and I was able to take them all. Thousands at a time. It took me a long time to gather them. But now they're empty. All of those people that were living their good life. Their power squashed down, absorbed by me. But I needed to die so that I could ascend. Ascend to what, said Jashin. As Naruto smirked. When beings like us die, we float into emptiness, where we stay until eternity. But strange enough, my hatred was too much, too overbearing for me to just float there for eternity, and I woke up. You think you were the one that found me? You think you were the one that was calling the shots in the beginning? Lucifer could not even move a muscle. You think you were the one that doing all of this plan, just because you're the devil, the big bad scary being, said Naruto. Well, you're wrong. This is my game, my story, and none of you are running it. And once I was just put down by my dearling, Gar over there. Once again my soul was sent towards that place, but this time, I took all the celestials, all the beings that die, the supernatural abilities that far surpass humans. I swallowed them whole. So, what do you think of that? Lucifer was silent. Not only him, but Jashin and Yami as well. They didn't think something like that was even possible. You wouldn't have tried that because you're also naive. After all, you killed your family. But I absorbed those bitches. And now, their power is inside of me. All of their offsprings. My most favorite one is a dream of the endless. I can see in the dreams of everyone. Minato, I must say, for the past years and a half, you've been nothing but paranoid, thinking that I would come back. Me haunting your dreams. Minma, you found yourself inadequate, with me stealing your girl every time, and you losing. I mean, I'm happy to know that you're thinking about me, brother, but that's too much, said Naruto. As Naruto shoved his hand deeper inside Lucifer's chest, before ripping his hand out as Lucifer dropped down to the ground, black markings spreading around his body. How does it feel to be the one powerless? Unable to do anything, said Naruto as he stomped in his chest. Thinking that you could control me, that you could rule me, that you were the architect of this story. Naive, said Naruto as he picked him by the throat. And I will be taking you as well, as Naruto stabbed him right to the chest once again. This time, he started to absorb him. Jashin shot forward. She couldn't let this happen. He was already powerful enough. She appeared behind him in a burst of speed, yet her hand was grabbed by Gaara. Gaara shook her head. No interrupting. Jashin swung her fist around the air as it rippled through the sky, tearing the entire side of the castle down. The amount of pressure that she put in her punch, but Gaara swung her hand, causing her to spin as she tossed her. Her fist obliterated the section of the castle, completely crumbling to dust. As Naruto took in Lucifer, all of him, all of his power, everything, and the power then ruptured. He finally released it all. Instead of a wild explosion, everything went calm. The wind stopped blowing the sky, remained still the water, the earth, everything froze for a single second. as Naruto latched out his hand and grabbed onto Gaara before pulling her close. As he locked lips with her, black glass emerged around the two, trapping them inside. Jashin arrived back inside. She held up both of her hands as two black demonic balls of pure energy started to gather. Hit it with everything you got, she shouted to all of them. They looked at her. Now! If we allow them to escape, we're all gonna die. The others saw the detrimental state that they were in after hearing what everything they have said. They decided to follow through, as everyone launched their most powerful attack towards the ball. They hit it with such force they had to move. The entire three-peat mountain was collapsing on itself. The explosion obliterated everything. Snow covered most of the ninjas as they crashed back into it. Minma got up as he was coughing. What happened? He said. As he saw his father, "Father!" he shouted out. Minato picked himself up as Guy pushed himself out of the snow. Guy looked around at the destruction. Did that do it? As Jashin got back up to her feet, as the smoke cleared away, the ball was still there. Jashin's eyes went wide. How the hell is that thing still there? Said Conqueror as he got up. They're alive in there, aren't they? Said Temari. This is bad, said Baki, as he could already tell. What the hell? Said Darui as he looked up in the sky, and all of them did as well. There was a giant wormhole in the sky, and what they saw beyond it was just pure, endless fire. Suddenly, a beam shot from the wormhole and slammed right on top of the crystal, and it started to break. Everyone had to close their eyes as it exploded in a bright, brilliant shade of light. When it finally cleared away, two people stood there, as they were standing in mid-air. The girl had her hands wrapped around his. Their appearance once again changed, entering their final form. Pristine white hair flew behind Gaara, a beautiful shade of red ruby eyes. They were glistening. They were truly glistening. She was in a tight bodysuit that framed her figure perfectly, red with black stripes around it. She had a strange staff in her hand. The staff almost looked like a fork, with three pointed tips on the end of it. She looked like she got a lot cuter for some reason. She was also wearing high heel boots. I like the new look, she said. But this power, it's amazing, she shouted, as a sonic boom went off at her voice, clearing the sky of all clouds that might be there. How do you feel, honey? She asked. My dear, I think we should stop this, said Naruto. What? She said. All of the pure souls inside of me. I think I should turn over a new leaf. Instead of killing people, I think we should save them. As Naruto was still covered by the smoke, despite Gaara shouting and blowing away all the clouds, his body was hidden by the smoke. That was strange. He lowered himself in his smoke form, as you couldn't really see him. Father, I am sorry. Truly so. Brother, I have brought great shame to our family. I wish to make up for my wrongs. Jashin, although you betray me. Nah, I can't, said Naruto, as he burst out laughing. Not even I would believe that, he said. You bitches are screwed. As the smoke blew away. Standing there, 6 foot plus, bulging muscles that just fit him perfectly. He was wearing a white Hiyori that came loose at the bottom. He was wearing black pants, black boots on his feet, the kanji for death on the back of his Hiyori. He wasn't wearing a shirt, showing off his muscles and abs. His white hair was slicked back. His eyes were white. They had a pupil that was just completely white while the rest of it was black. He looked towards his hands. Now this is what I'm talking about, he said. This is the power that I deserve. It's been a long run for you people and this earth. You're all gonna become my slaves. Die for my entertainment. This world now belongs to me. The right Kage snarled Like we will let that happen. Oh, you got me all wrong. I'm actually giving you a fighting chance. Why don't you gather your armies, gather your people, and we'll have some fun. I mean, I'm dying to test out this power of mine. Hey, Mr. Kage, when I win, I'm gonna take you as one of my trophies, okay? The woman looked at him with a snarl. Don't worry, sex with me is amazing. Well, that is what I've been told. Well, he is in line, said Gara. She landed beside him. Oh, Jashin, you're still a bitch, said Naruto. Huh, I'm not that angry anymore. What? Well, you see, the reason why I couldn't fight you in the beginning was because I could lose my temper and end up destroying the plan Sugara always taught me. But my rage, it seemed to be subsiding. Or probably not, perhaps it's just so overwhelming. And know that I have the power and that I could literally tear you down to the smallest piece and reform you in a second and then rip you apart again. Just for pleasure. It's become more exciting for me. It's like I don't want it to end. That look on your face, that fear. Father, said Naruto. I bet you didn't think that this would happen. After all that torturing, after everything. After my death. After everything. I bet you thought that one day you'd win in the end. As Menma looked towards him. Oh, brother. Huh. I guess your life is all messed up since I screwed your girlfriend, huh? Menma clenched his fists as he stepped forward. Minato stopped him by placing a hand on his shoulder. Wise move. I would have taken both of your arms. But I can do that later on, said Naruto. And for all those who are wondering, yes, your villages will be destroyed once we're done with the war. Your people will be violated by my demons. Unless all of you go on your knees and bow and beg me. Beg your new creator for, well, saving. I might kill you, I might not. How about it? As the Raikage gets splat, we will fight you to our last dying breath. We will not bow to you. You, father? Stop calling me that. My son died a long time ago. You are just some kind of beast, a monster. And we will take you down. Oh, was that supposed to hurt? Never mind. How about you, sister-in-law, said Naruto. As Temar snarled at him, the San won't bow to your demands. Mizukage, you know we can sort this out by just having fun in the bedroom, said Naruto. She laughed. Perhaps that might be fun, but we can't allow a dictator to keep on running the world. How about you, bitch, said Naruto as he turned towards Jashin. You really think I would bow to you, she said. Oh, forgot. You're still a bitch, said Naruto. Well, you guys have 3 days to prepare. If you're not prepared by then, I'm gonna burn your homes. Just for fun so you can get you rallied, okay? As he started to walk off, and what makes you think we'll just let you leave? Said the Raikage. Wait, make me leave? The Raikage felt something behind him. His head was grabbed, but Naruto did not move. As his face was smashed into the earth, the snow kind of cushioned it a bit. Darui appeared with his blade as he tried to cut Gara. She looked towards him. He stopped in his tracks. His entire body shook in fear. He was confused. As his other guard, Ryu, came behind Gara, trying to stab her from behind, as he brought his katana down, but it broke on her back. She ignored him. Next time, don't raise your voice like that to him, said Gara as she slapped the Raikage over his head. As Naruto held on to his heart, you know, I find it so goddamn hot when you come to my defense. I know, she said. You know, given our recent changes, sex will be a whole nother level right now. Perhaps we might end up destroying a village if we go at it like wild animals like before. Huh. Now that sounds fun, said Naruto. Oh, it will be, she said. Remember what I said, said Naruto. 3 days. No more, no less. And Jashin, don't bother trying to run. There is nowhere on this planet, universe, Nowhere that you can hide from me, that I won't find you. And if you do run, I'll give you a fate even worse than death. Well, your fate is gonna be much worse. You know, sometimes I'm just underestimating myself. Well, that's because I love to hear myself talk. Well, see you guys, said Naruto. And with that, him and Gaara vanished like they weren't even there. Jashin dropped to her knees, glad that he was finally gone. This entire time he has been directing that potent amount of death towards her, and it was unsettling. She was afraid. She was more afraid of him than she was ever afraid of Lucifer, and that was saying something given who Lucifer was. But no, he was gone. As she looked up to Yami, "We're all dead," she said. As she looked up towards her brother, who didn't have an answer, because they were screwed. But then something strange happened. 4 lights appeared. 4 twinkling lights appeared in front of them. "What's that?" said Minato. She reached out. "Brothers? Sisters? Wait, I thought he killed them all," said me. As Jashin looked towards them, she could hear what they were saying, but not everyone else. "They survived, but barely. But they can't reform themselves at the moment." "You knew what he did, right?" she said. She looked towards them. As she nodded back. "They're here to help us, so that we can take that bastard down." "Wait, are they as strong as you?" said me. This wasn't her time for pride, so she nodded. "Well, that will help," said Minma. "But how strong exactly is Naruto?" "I don't know," said Jashin. "He's still holding back. And not to mention he shares some of his power with Gaara, so perhaps that lessened the power that he has. But still, it won't be easy. If we're gonna take a fighting chance, well, that is if we all don't die." "Well, there's only one option left. Fight or die," said Mifune, as he looked up at the sky where that black hole still was. "Fight," said Temari. The right Kage was back up. "Fight," he said. "Fight," said Minato. "We have no choice," said me. "Fight." "It's simple then. You're the only one that know much about him, and more about this culture which you're a part of. Would you take the command to lead us into this battle?" Jashin looked towards all of them. How things have changed. First, you want to rule this place, after slowly slaughtering everyone, and turn this place into her own personal escape. But now, she had to help them, because if she did not, she was gonna die as well. Well, he never said that he would kill her. Naruto knew what she feared the most, and she couldn't allow that to happen. She looked up towards Yami, as she squeezed the 4 balls in her hand. "What are you doing?" said Minato. They flooded into her. "Overwriting the rules," she said, as she grabbed her brother by the shoulders before yanking him into this stage of reality. Everyone was shocked when Shinigami popped out of nowhere, standing there like the dead god himself. Many of them started to panic. "Don't worry, this is my brother. So he's the one that Naruto has been talking to." "Yes." "How did you," said Yami. 5 of us are more than enough to override the rule that we made a long time ago. We have to fight as one, as much as I hate to say that. We need to pull everything together, or we will lose. We will die." "Well, I might be able to help." Everyone snapped their head around. "Orochimaru," said Minma with a growl. "Easy there," Orochimaru said, as Minato narrowed his eyes dangerously. Before he raised a hand stopping Minma. "Father." As Orochimaru smiled, "As smart as ever, Minato," Orochimaru said. "I may have something that can help us against this. I can't believe it myself what I just saw, but you people need me. After all, Jashin-sama," he said, a mocking bow. "You said yourself. We need everyone, and I intend to bring everyone." Orochimaru said a smirk. Meanwhile, the masked man stood in the hidden rain, as he looked at all the chaos and destruction, as he couldn't believe it. All of his plans, Nagato was gone, the Rinnegan was gone. As he was walking around, he didn't know what the hell happened. He just arrived to see like this. Zetsu didn't inform him, so he didn't know what the hell was going on. That is when he found Konan, who was lying down under some rubble. He pulled her out as she was unconscious. He woke her. As Konan woke up with a groan. Konan blinked before she jumped to her feet as she started to spin on her heel. As the blood rush to her head was too much, getting up too fast. She was hit rather nasty after all. She calmed herself and she looked around. She thought for a moment there was all a dream, but it was real. They're gone. They're all gone, she said. What happened? Said the masked man. That monster. He came here. He killed Nagato. He killed everyone. And she couldn't believe it. You mean Naruto, he said. As Konan nodded. She didn't trust or care about the masked man. But that was a moot point at the moment because it was over. She dropped down to the ground. As the masked man simply sucked himself away. He had to go check on something. Konan lay there on the ground. She didn't know what to do. She failed. She couldn't help her friend. Her fist clenched. Before she died though, she was gonna blow him to smithereens. As her wings came from her back as she made her way to collect all of her paper bomb, she was gonna blow herself along with him away. She didn't want to live in this world anymore. She lost everything now. Everything was gone. She wanted to meet Nagato and Yaiko again. She couldn't live here anymore. Meanwhile, the masked man arrived at the cave where the Gedo statue was. It was still there. Where the hell was Zetsu? As he wondered if Zetsu got caught up in the explosion as well and died. Damn it, he cursed. He had no idea what was going on. If he was there, he could have done something. Perhaps taking Nagato before he got himself blown to pieces. And he would have taken the goddamn Rinnegan. He needed that and now it was gone. He snarled at the predicament that he was in. Everything had gone to hell. He then felt tremors. Earthquakes. What the hell? The place was trembling. He saw darkness creep over the sky. More darkness than before the earth. Purple lightning, black lightning, red lightning was slashing through the sky. The world itself looked like it was about to end. Meanwhile that was going on, the cause of all that earthquake was Naruto and Gaara. The both of them now being together was shaking the earth on a sizable level. At the moment the both of them were in the vast forest. All of the trees were blown away, destroyed. Both of them going at it a bit rough. They literally shook the earth. Now that, the both of them says he lied there completely naked. It was amazing, said Naruto. You're telling me, said Gaara, as she was literally out of breath. Huh, I guess we can say I took your breath away. As she chuckled at that. Well, you should have gave them 2 days, you know. It would have been much quicker. They need a fighting chance, come on, said Naruto. Yeah, I suppose you're right. What about Kaguya and Hinata? I'll get them soon, said Naruto. You know they're gonna be my playthings as well, said Gaara. Well, Kaguya is already open to the idea. Hinata on the other hand. Well, after a night with you, I suppose you can make her swing both ways. Gaara licked her lips. Oh, you can count on that, she said. I have a good idea, you know. What's that, said Naruto. After we send it all to hell, and create this hellscape of ours, we can create one large village, and remove all clothing from the world, and make everyone walk around naked, for a full year, going around and doing things as they please. It's gonna be fun. Then we can put them into our arena, with all the darkest, decrepit monsters from hell, for them to fight, and see if they will survive. Give them their chakra as well, so that they will have a fighting chance. Perhaps even bestowing upon them a bit of power. Because if we don't, they will die within seconds. After all, we need to be entertained. Yes, I suppose you're right, said Naruto. And then we can go and gather all the other civilians, all the other things out there on the other planets, and these Osuskis that Kaguya told us about, and bring them to Earth, and also have them fight in order to competition, once we're done with this slaughteration. You know, that's why I love you so much, said Naruto, as he kissed her on the lips. Not just a beautiful face. That's why we fit perfectly together, she said. Now, let us get dressed. It's been too long since I saw my son. As Naruto got to his feet, time skip. As they arrived in that decrepit dimension that was known as Hell, Tartarus, whatever you want to call it. They arrived inside. The moment they did, halt, a dark voice said, as Naruto looked up towards a beast. It had two giant wings on its back, red dark eyes looking down at them. It dropped its head to the ground. I apologize. I did not notice. Please forgive me. Naruto patted him on the head. Oh, there's no need to be so panicked, come on. You didn't notice? Yes, I did not. It's fine, said Naruto. But next time, try not to say anything before you take a better look. But Naruto snapped his finger, and the thing turned into dust. As he started to walk, Hades, said Naruto, his voice reprimanding through the entire place. As Naruto heard someone yelling, as he heard footsteps that were slamming to the earth, the thing was moving fast. As Naruto saw his son coming, he named his son Hades after his friend. Well, they weren't exactly friends, they were fighting to kill each other. But, well, it was a tournament to see who was the strongest of the strongest down here in the first few years of him being down here. And this man, Hades, no one has ever had Naruto respect so much. Well, no guys has had his respect so much. But he say he must appreciate Hades' strength. Hades hated Lucifer as him, because the man always acted like he was this arrogant boss, which neither of them liked. Hades knew that he didn't have the strength to face him though, so he left it in Naruto's hand. But their battle came to an end when Naruto incinerated him down to the last particles. And from that day on, everyone knew that besides Lucifer, Naruto was the strongest. And little by little, his supporters started to grow, to overthrow this pestilent child that got angry because his father left, and got trapped in here with them, the gates of hell never to be opened, so they could not explore the human world, but with Naruto. As Naruto saw them, all the darkness, the creatures, all the things that were sent down here, turn into the most darkest form of themselves emerge. Riding on top of one of the largest titanic beasts was none other than Hades, Naruto and Gaara's son. As the beast came to a stop before bowing its head, all the other demons did. As the boy jumped off and landed, crashing on the ground, demons took a long while to age. His son wasn't really a demon, but because he was born down here, his essence was tied to this place, so he could not leave like Naruto and Gaara. But he took a while to age, despite the long years they've been down here. He looked like he was just 10 years old. Dad! Mom! He says. He jumped towards them. They caught him in their arms. As they placed him on the ground, as they stooped down. How have you been, Gaara said. Not so bad. I've been playing with the others. You've been gone for a really long time. Is it done? Can we leave? And go kill the humans? He asked. Just like them, his bloodlust was immense. And his power was beyond any of the other demons down here. He was special after all. He had red hair like his mother used to have. Black eyes with the red pupil. His frame was like any other 10-year-old. But don't let that fool you. He could demolish anyone in his path. He was a beast when it comes towards fighting, just like his father. A monster among the battlefield that enjoyed the bloodlust and the rage more, probably even more than his father. Well, he think that, but that was not the case. Naruto was still holding back, waiting for the final moments where he could descend upon Konoha, descend upon the ninjas, descend upon everyone, and then you'd release it. You've changed. I know it's you because I can feel your power, but You guys have changed. Is it finally over? Are we gonna leave now? Yes, said Naruto. We're finally gonna bring you to the outside world. A big smile came on his face. That's amazing, he says. He bounced up and down, the big cherry smile on his face. So, you guys won, didn't you? As Naruto smiled, do you even have to ask? I knew it! I kept my mouth shut. He didn't know what was coming to him. Did he suffer? Hades asked. Oh, very much, said Naruto as he tapped his chest. He's still there suffering. He's trapped in an endless loop of being burned over and over, never to escape. You're awesome, Dad. We can now be a full family and rule the world together, not just the world, the universe, he said. That's my boy, said Naruto. Now, for the rest of you, said Naruto. The world is ours. As Naruto raised his hand and snapped his finger, I destroyed the time lap between this world and the world out there. It will only take 3 days. Roars and cheers of acknowledgement could be heard. 3 days, and I release you all in this world, where you will no longer be shackled by this dimension. Be able to explore, pillage, destroy, defile. The roars could be heard again. So tell me, are you ready? We are, Master Naruto, they shouted, the demonic howls, as Naruto smiled to himself, as all of them bowed their head down to their king and queen, and their little prince. In 3 days' time I'll be back. I'll rip open this dimension to the world, and you all will be free, under my command, as they all cheered once again. Come on, son, said Naruto, as they made their way out with him. When they arrived back to the real world, they were in the sky. Naruto could walk through, and bring people through with him as well. The wormhole in the sky was the gate, but he hadn't completely ripped it open yet. But he could bring people with him. His son stood there in mid-air with him, flying, as he took a deep breath. Whoa. It's amazing, he said, looking down. A lot more beautiful than I thought. Well, what do you expect, said Gaara after being trapped away for so long, in that hellish escape. Suppose you're right, Mom. So what now? Oh, first thing first, why don't I introduce you to the rest of the family? As Hades smirked at that. Yeah, I like to meet my grandpa, he said, and grandma. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if you want this next person too, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. But I'm out for now, see you guys soon, peace.